Hello everyone, thank you all for joining us live. We are very excited to talk to you about AI today and also answer some of your questions. Susanne, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. I'm leading a team of awesome data scientists in SAP's Intelligent Enterprise solution, which is, you can think of it like the next level IT, super cool. And our team is developing and operating AI models for SAP's internal business processes.
That's great. And yeah, Susanne and I, we work closely together. My name is Richard and I lead the central AI product management team at SAP. And with that, I would say, let's get started. So let me quickly walk you through our SAP Business AI approach. Now, first, we focus on building embedded AI capabilities into all of our business applications. And we have more than 130 productive use cases already live today, and they range across three main areas. One is we're automating repetitive tasks in your systems. The second is we want to enhance human decision-making for our end users by delivering intelligent recommendations and forecasts. And then third, we're trying to improve the user experience with AI for our customers in our business applications. And a good example of this is our recently announced enterprise copilot, Joule, that we're now starting to ship out across all of our applications. Now, how do we build these capabilities and how do we build the technology? We do this on Business Technology Platform, and we call it the AI Foundation. So we build all of the tech components there and then integrate with all of the business applications to deliver these use cases. But we also offer them externally, directly to our customers and partners for developers to build their own extension use cases.
Richard, we see a lot of partner logos there. Can you explain a little bit about when are we using partner technology and when are we using SAP's own technology?
Yes, so let me give you an example. If we have a model, a large AI model that is trained on public domain data, it doesn't make sense for SAP to reinvent the wheel and build this from scratch in-house. So that's where we integrate this technology and bring it into our platform and then use it to deliver these embedded AI capabilities. But of course, we're also sitting on a lot of business data and process expertise here at SAP. And so we use that to build differentiating capabilities ourselves. And let me show you on the next slide here what are the solutions that we make available for developers and engineers from customers and partners here through our AI Foundation on BTP. So if you are a developer and you want to build your own model with your own specific data and very tailored to your custom requirements, but you don't want to rebuild basically an AI model from scratch, we have our AI services, which are pre-trained services available, and they are a great fit in this case. So let me show them to you. So first one here is document information extraction. This is a service that automates business document processing end-to-end, and you can extract all of the key fields from your business documents to then further process downstream in your applications. We have this live already since quite a while, and a lot of successful customer stories achieved with that. Just this year alone, we processed more than 350 million documents, and we're not stopping there. We're now supercharging it with generative AI, and we're launching our premium edition, which is available in trial already today, where we are now basically covering all business documents out of the box. So you can process any document, and we're covering more than 40 languages out of the box, so you don't have to go into extensive retraining on your own.
So really any document, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's any document, trust me. We've tried it out. I mean, you can process Pokemon cards with this, right? So it's really amazing. And yeah, can't wait for you guys to check it out, try it out for yourself. And we are shipping the commercial version of this by next month. So that's where you can really get productive and build lots of use cases on top of that. If you're looking towards intelligent recommendation systems, we have two services in store for you. One is the data attribute recommendation service, which helps you complete any missing information that you have across your data sets. So, for example, sales orders where you have incomplete fields, or master data, or any other type of data where you want to complete this and have intelligent recommendation of the attributes within that data set. This is where you can use this service. And if you have user-specific data, so for example, browsing histories or any type of clickstream data, you can use our personalized recommendation service, that delivers tailored recommendations for users that you can then leverage and implement into your applications. And we're using this already live as well for quite some time. And with SuccessFactors, we're processing more than 4.2 million recommendations on a monthly basis. So it's really something which we run at scale here at SAP. Now, if you are an engineer and you want to build your own large AI models or any type of large implementation on BTP, that's where you can use our SAP AI Core and AI Launchpad offering to run, deploy, manage, and orchestrate these models at scale and in a cost-efficient manner on BTP. So you can really bring in your own models, build them, and bring them into your applications, integrate with any other application that you're building. So that's what we have in store already today. But of course, we don't stop here. And so I'm very happy to also tell you more about our new capabilities that we're now shipping as part of AI Core and AI Launchpad, which is our Generative AI Hub. So we're announcing this here at TechEd. This is your access to large language models on BTP. So you can really get started and build generative AI applications yourself on BTP. We are shipping out of the box already access to the OpenAI GPT models as well as the Falcon 40B model, and we will extend this in the next year with lots of more large language models, leading large language models, like for example Llama 2 and the Aleph Alpha models, and more to come. And yeah, let me just quickly show you a couple of the capabilities here. One is the portability between models, so you can easily switch between the models because we have a unified endpoint to this Generative AI Hub, and so without interrupting your builds downstream, you can basically switch out the models and then experiment with different models. If new ones come up, bring them into your workflows. And of course, we're also looking at enterprise encryption and data privacy standards. We're fully adhering to all of the latest standards with BTP. We have prompt experimentation and history offering, as well as a grounding implementation so that you can ground your prompts on business data with access to vector databases. And lots more to come. You see it here on the slide, a couple of the highlights here with prompt registry and library, as well as the support for AI agents. So we have a backlog already full for our teams. Yeah, we can't wait to get your feedback also in on that. But before I now talk too much about the capabilities, let me show it to you live in action. So what you see here is our AI Launchpad. And you see the new capabilities that we have integrated here on the left side, where it's prompt management. So here you can see the history of the prompts that you've created, the prompt editor where you can experiment with different prompts and fine-tune them, and then you have the model grounding where you can configure the access to your grounding models. So let me show you how that can work here with a little example. So the user here has already created quite a few prompts, as you can see. And we can set some filters on the left side here. So for example, we're now looking at only the grounding prompts that we've created, the last one yesterday. You can see here the 4 different ones, and let's now open the last one in the editor. So we're jumping into the editor now, and you see we're simulating here with this prompt the large language model to be a HANA Cloud expert, and we want to now calculate the shortest path. So that's the user prompt here, and of course to do that, rather than the model to hallucinate the answer, we want to ground it on our HANA Cloud Graph documentation, which we've already embedded here. And so we use this as context to add to the prompt and then execute this on the platform, and you see the response on the right side, right? So this is, you can experiment, you can fine-tune your prompts and really work through this. But of course, you can also select different models, right? So we now selected the 40B model, but we also have access to other models. And so in this particular case, the user wants to experiment, wants to try out the GPT-4 model. to see if we can get some better results. One thing that was missing here in the prompt on the right side, it's a good explanation, but it doesn't give you any code snippets, right, to play it out, to try it out. And we know that GPT-4 is great in doing that. So we run the prompt again here, and we now see that GPT-4 also provides GraphScript code snippets right in the response. So yeah, it's a really great example of how we can leverage these different models to fine-tune this to the different use cases and applications that we have.
This is really cool, Richard, and I'm always super happy because internally for our IT we always get a sneak peek and we can already early adapt and test it, and that's also where our data scientists are super excited to use these functionalities, as we are already having more than 70 AI solutions live, not all of them Gen AI, but Gen AI coming into our life cycles as well. What we can see here is how we interact with our customers from the explore potential on products up to the innovate and grow with our customers. And all these customer touchpoints are already supported by AI. For instance, in the explore potential phase, we have predicted opportunity scoring, where our account executives get some support if the opportunity they're working on has a high likelihood to close and to be won, or if there's a low likelihood and what they can do to make this deal close. Super cool on that side. But not only are we supporting all our colleagues in the field who interact with customers, but we are also looking into our own internal processes and smart back-end office processes, so to say. And we are enabling all our colleagues internal with a lot of gimmicks, a lot of stuff that makes our life of employees in SAP easier. And this is what we call a hybrid workplace of the future as well. One example here is the self-service for text analysis, where we will have a closer look in a few seconds.
Susanne, how do you bring all of these cases live?
Yeah, of course, the answer is SAP BTP. And on top of this and around this, we have our AI ecosystem. And what we do in our internal development, we have the Intelligent Enterprise Data Platform, where we have a lot of different layers. You can see here the consumption, data foundation, and enablement layer through which we process the data and bring this all together. Highlighted here on the side is the AI and data science management. You were talking about AI Core, you were talking about the Gen AI Hub. All this is in this highlighted box here, and we use it to bring our use cases, some of our use cases live, and make them work for our colleagues in SAP. What is a cool use case? Nowadays, it's all about Gen AI. And from all of our 70 use cases, I picked the topic detection and sentiment analysis. This platform here, this tool, helps our colleagues with a massive amount of data. We are very closely listening to our partners, to our customers. We get feedback surveys from them. We get even feedbacks from our employees when we look into all hands meetings. If we look into the chats, what are our colleagues talking about? What are critical points, so that we can actually address them? And previously, this was done manually. You can imagine this was a lot of effort. We tried to measure it, and we came up with 3,000 hours yearly, where people assigned if this is a good topic or a negative connotated topic. And with this solution now, we can automate the process and get a huge value for SAP in this automation. The benefits here is that's a self-service for every employee, so every employee has access and can bring in their own data. We store the data there, we can filter the data, and we have a direct connect to the backend, so you don't have to reload your data every time, but you store it and have the connect.
That's like the grounding that I talked about.
Exactly, like the grounding you were talking about previously. And that is really beneficial.
Yeah.
So how does it look like for the user? So here we see the process flow. The user can bring, for instance, their CSV data, upload it, get it stored in the backend, and then they can run the analysis, and they can even interact now also with our LLMs to ask questions to the text data set they brought. Let's go to a small demo on that site. And we refresh the page because we loaded it previously for you guys. Now we have here some publicly available data. It's Amazon product reviews. We've loaded this already. And in this data now, we are selecting, for instance, baby products, and we're selecting for Germany. Sorry, we didn't have any reviews from India yet. But let's see what are the main 3 topics that people were discussing. Am I typing correctly?
Yes.
The main 3 topics discussed. Okay, fine, let's see. Everything is up and running. So now we are connecting to the backend, analyzing the data, and getting, hopefully in a few seconds, back the top 3 topics. As this is live, we cannot really predict how long it would take. It should take just a second or two. And here we go. So right now we have product quality and design as top one topic. And what we want to do next is we want to understand the sentiments to these topics. Sorry. Come on. Here we go. So we take these topics and want to have a visualization on these. Okay, now. And S and comma. And what is the last topic? Product usage and satisfaction. Important topic as well. So let's see. Once we want to have a bar chart for that and see how the people reacted to these three different topics. So we not only have feedback on text, but we also have a visualization feedback. We saw this also in some of the keynotes already. In Joule, you can also get this visualization. However, now this is built internally due to our own on our own tooling, what you can do as customers outside as well. So it's really a plug and play of a lot of different models and modules. What we see now is here we have the bar chart on the three topics, and we see customer service and delivery issues has 2 negative remarks in here. But from there on, let's go back to what is actually technical behind this.
Yes, perfect. Let me jump back to the slides. And also let me just quickly add here to all of the viewers out there. I just heard that we had some delay in starting this session. So you might have missed, unfortunately, some technical challenges the beginning of the session. But we will definitely have the recording live. So and then we can rewatch the beginning. So hopefully you can still follow along now here as part of the session. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's really worth seeing each other doing the introduction. So look into the recording.
All right, but now let's continue and just quickly look at how you built this use case from a technical standpoint.
Yeah, sure. So now we have seen the demo, and we all actually saw just what the business user was seeing and when they accessed the front end. And what is behind that, you see a lot of this is covered by a BTP. And we have this front-end layer on the Cloud Foundry runtime, where we have this for different applications. And of course, BTP is also managing the job scheduling for us if this is necessary. We have authentication and trust management on BTP. We have the credential store and connection to HANA if you have your data on a HANA database. And then from there on, super important also for us in SAP is data protection and privacy, right? So we have this pinkish box there, entity recognition and name masking, because we don't know what kind of data the user is bringing. So they can have any data in their CSV files, right? And they can have even person names, they could have ID numbers, emails, so anything that's personal identifiable data. And with entity recognition from the AI Business Services, we can actually mask this data. So whenever the output is created, you don't see these person names anymore, which is really cool. And we also did some performance comparison on that. And so the recall of our business entity recognition on names and personal identifiable data is more than 95% on our data set, right, for our use case. And with that, it even outperformed Stanford NLP. So really, really cool. The best what we can find for our use case on the market. So appreciation to the colleagues in the standard development. Right, besides this name masking now, we have the connection to the AI core with a lot of different APIs in there, and also the connection to the Gen AI Hub, where, as Richard already has shown, we have the selection between the different LLM models. And then we have a lot of other applications in there, the Docker repo, the object store, Git repo, to manage our code in there. And what you can also see, we even via the Docker repo, we have a connection via proxy then to go to our AI ecosystem. And we have the classical natural language processing modeling out there as well, or any model actually you would like. And why do we do that? Because sometimes you might even be interested to connect to a random forest, to support vector machine, to anything that's customizable or you find out there. And therefore, internally, we really appreciate that we have the freedom of connecting our internal services and whatever tooling on AI SAP is developing. Thanks for that. And connecting also to our ecosystem, and then we get the best of both worlds. Right, and this is also why we do this, right? What we can see here is we did some performance measurement. On the upper line, we did a performance measurement on publicly available data, this Amazon product review data. In the lower line, we did a performance measurement on SAP's internal feedback data. And the overall message here, which we can see, is that for the publicly available data, our fine-tuned internal BERT model did not perform so well in terms of F1 score compared to the large language models, the different GTP versions, and so on. And in the lower part, we see that the fine-tuned model outperforms the general broad models. And this, is nothing new for a data scientist, saying, okay, if you want to have a high performing model on one specific domain, then you can tune it. If you want to have something that is broad and can cover a lot of different domains, then you would usually go to a large language model. So again, the message, it's awesome to plug and play and to bring SAP technology with best of breed together as well.
That's a great example, right? So it's really what we see now with lots of productive use cases, be it internal here at SAP, be it for our customers and partners. And I'm sure you're experiencing this as well, right? It's really now leveraging the best of both worlds, right? Using the base models as a starting point, and then fine-tuning on top of that, and then really catering to your specific business requirements and business data to then really come up with great models that have a huge value for our end users. And yeah, we here at SAP are really using this at scale. So really a very good showcase, I think. Yes.
Thank you. Good.
Thanks.
With that, we would be ready for Q&A.
Yes, let's go to Q&A.
Live Q&A.
Okay.
Good. We have not we don't have any questions, so I can ask you a question, I guess, right?
Yeah, Yes, we're getting some information here, basically, on what the technical challenges were. So basically, unfortunately, the session is not live now anymore. So that's where we're also not receiving any questions. However, it will be made available already today on demand for viewers here to watch after the fact. Well, we have the first question now coming in. Okay, that's great. Can you tell us a bit more about the Generative AI Hub on SAP AI Core? Yes, of course. Happy to quickly talk about this. So it really is a set of capabilities that we're now shipping as part of SAP AI Core and SAP AI Launchpad on BTP, where you can, as a developer on BTP, you can get direct access to your large language models and build generative AI applications on your own. So this is your path to building extension use cases using generative AI, fine-tuning these cases to your specific basic data needs and business requirements, and then extending this in your ecosystem, integrating through BTP with all of your applications that you already have connected. So it really is that one single stop shop to get access to our large language models. And of course, we're incorporating lots of models, but we will also in the future build our own models that we make available there based on our own data and based on all of the process knowledge that we have. So yeah, definitely a great platform now to really scale out now generative AI use cases and get access to all of the latest technologies through BTP. Very easy to consume, right? Ready to plug and play. Basically, if you subscribe to AI Core and AI Launchpad, you can easily build these cases on your own and really have a great ecosystem and extension space there for you. So yeah, we're really excited to ship this to all of our customers and our partners. We will make it available by end of this year already commercially, so you can get started and try it out. And we're really looking forward to get and receive your feedback.
Yeah, and since there are no more questions on the chat right now, of course you can always reach out to Richard and me and ask some more questions. We are happy to support you there, and we were super happy to have the session today.
Yes.
And yeah, take care and use AI as much as you can. Thank you
guys.